Now, this interview is so surreal to me, and just I have to pinch myself. I can't believe that it actually took place and it actually happened. This is with the wonderful Róisín Murphy, a person that I literally grew up watching on the music channels, grew up listening to on the radio, and really, really formed a lot of my music taste, which is absolutely crazy to say, and unbelievable to say that I've interviewed somebody who has had that impact on my life. It's so wild to me and so crazy. You can probably hear the storm going on in the background right now, and if you're in the UK, you know exactly what I'm talking about currently. But yeah, we filmed this last week, and this is for her new album and a new tour, Hit Parade, and it's such a great body of work. And I told her this in the interview, which you're about to hear. I told her how great her career's been and how she continues to go. It's so cool to see and so cool to bear witness, and I'm so grateful that we had the time together to talk, and I'm so grateful that she's still going so strong, because she is such a character, and as such a creative. So wonderful. What a special treat this interview is. I really hope that you get something from it, as I did, and enjoy it, because it's just very close to my heart, very special. Yeah, what a legend, what a pioneer. Here we go. This is Róisín Murphy.
Right. Hello.
Oh, hello!
Hiya.
Oh my God, Róisín, hello! How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Oh, I'm not too bad. Well, I'm great now. I'm buzzing. I've been buzzing for this interview for I don't know
Oh,
how
bless
long
you.
now. I don't know how long. I've been so excited. But yeah, I've been bouncing off the walls today. Um,
Oh, thank you.
Hopping and bopping to Hit Parade. I've been absolutely going crazy up in the house. But yeah, it is so good to see you. How's your day been? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I've just done quite a few of these regional radio things. I'm all
Yeah.
good though.
Have they gone okay? Has it all been okay?
All been smooth.
Banging. Well, let's hope it carries on going smooth and banging. And I'm ready to get started whenever you are.
Let's go.
Banging. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the deep questions, the deeper type of
Mm.
questions first. Let's get those out of the way, because I've got a lot of burning questions here, Róisín. First off, I looked in the bio. Now, I don't usually look in bios, and I don't like bringing them into conversation, because it's a bit weird having looked at somebody's whole history and then kind of bringing it back up in front of them. It's very strange, but
Go on, bring it back. It don't matter.
bring it back. Yeah, exactly. I saw that you were singing "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina," and I saw on TikTok the other day that you were going crazy in Buenos Aires, Argentina,
Mhm.
and I was
Ah,
just like, I thought there's a link there going on. How does
ah.
it feel? I mean, from such a young age, singing a massive show tune like that, to then
Mm,
being where you are now,
mm,
selling out and completely, blasting these performances all across the world. That must
mm.
feel amazing.
Yeah, it was really good to get across South America last year and to America, which I don't always do on every album. And I'd never played in Argentina. So that was special. Yeah, I mean it's great, as the years go by, um, my fan base kind of spreads, and they're always ever so lovely, and my shows are always really exuberant and joyful because of who's there, just as much as what's on the stage. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so good, and you've had such a brilliant career. Um, that's just been so brilliant to watch, and so lovely to see you grow and evolve and
Thank you.
keep reinventing yourself. It's totally crazy. And this is probably the deepest question that I'm going to ask you. But what's it like being a woman in the industry? How have you found it? How have you found navigating the industry? How have you found it for you?
I don't really think about that. I mean, I don't tend to look for misogyny in people. I don't tend to, I try to avoid becoming a victim of anything. And because I'm not, and I grew up with a lot of very interesting men around me. So I'm well able for men, my father, starting with my father, who was terrible woman's ladies man and very charismatic and probably a bit sexist. But not when it came to me. He always thought I could do anything. So I don't judge people that harshly. So maybe I'm the wrong person to ask. But I was very safe and secure in Sheffield for all those years, in Moloko too. We were quite far away from the industry. We had our own studio, we had our own setup up there, and we didn't really have to intermingle too much with the industry. We'd actually make our records and deliver them finished. And I'm kind of still that way now. I still work that way now. So I don't have any interference with the creative side. I have a great female assistant with me all the time these days. But most of the people around me are men that work in this business. I try not to think about that too much. I just take people as they are.
Brilliant. And I mean, it's good to hear you say that, because I've had I've done quite a few interviews now with women, starting the career, further into their career. And it's been really interesting hearing their kind of tales about, what people have said and how they've gone forward and how they've kind of like fought, through. And yeah, it just makes me glad that, you've had a good experience, because there's a lot of people out there that have, really,
I'm
really.
sure.
So
I'm sure they have.
I'm
But
happy.
I haven't, and I don't think being a woman has been in the way of anything for me. If I really think about it, no.
Good. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. I'm really happy to hear that. That's banging. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for that, Rashid. That's banging. And I need to ask about Free Will, because it's absolute banger. I absolutely love it. Oh my God, I was absolutely Auntie Linda. We've got the same set of dance.
Come on.
Like that's how I've been going. I've been literally like this. I was watching that. I was like, we've got the same set of dance skills. We're moving. I love it. That's how I've been reacted to this album. It's absolutely amazing. What are the inspirations going behind that?
Yeah, well, Free Will was inspired by a podcast, I think, that I was listening to, sort of philosophical idea of free will. People have been talking a lot about it in the last few years. And, questioning whether we have it or not. I don't think we have it in a small way, in the sense of we can't control the next thought that's going to pop up in our head. On the bigger things, you can have plans and stuff that you can try and stick to and be dedicated to and stuff like that. But on the little things, moment to moment, what actually makes up your brain chemistry, you haven't got much choice. And when it comes to love, I don't think you've got any choice. Whenever I've fallen in love, it's not something I can control. I either am in love or I'm not, And so that was sort of the way that I approached the song. And I think it might be the way I've approached a lot of songs in the past, like even Sing It Back, let's say, for example, would be a song about surrender, about giving up to love, about not having control, and there being a certain amount of danger in that, pain, but also some kind of elevated joy too, to the fact that I don't have this choice, I just have to go with it.
Banging, banging. And yeah, I mean, it really comes through the single, and it comes through the album as well. So many new inspirations there and so much to explore. Each song is completely different to the next.
Yeah.
It's really, really a fabulous album, fabulous body of work. And I've got to ask about Freak Me now as well, with Jessie Ware.
Yeah.
What like working with Jessie? Because
Oh, she's
you're
lovely.
like kindred spirits. Like you're like the perfect match. I was so
She's
hyped.
lovely. I met her on her podcast. She invited me onto her podcast. So I met her with her mammy and they fed me. And that was lovely. And then she asked me to do something on this track, and it was really quite simple to do. She sent me the fully formed track, which just had a gap in it, and said, fill the gap, which I did here remotely and sent it to her, and it all fit together perfectly. What we did do together was shoot that lovely pop video together. And it was quite chaotic because we arrived on the day and there was like literally 2 mountains of clothes. And we had to work that one out together, you know. But it was fun. It was nice to do it with someone else for a change, to be honest.
Banging. And I mean, talking of clothes as well, I've got to ask you about style. Because if you Google Róisín Murphy, there's loads and loads of articles that come up about your outfits. You know, people have compiled like full like lists and full
Mm.
descriptions of what you're wearing and when you're wearing it. And you know, how does that feel? Where do you get that sense of style from?
Oh, I don't know if it's a sense of style.
I'd say it is. I'd say it is. Banging.
It's a sense of fun. It's a sense of adventure. I mean, I would say, and I always say that it's really frivolous and pointless, and there's not necessary. You know, what is necessary is that the music's great, and I can kind of do anything visual after I've got good music. I can throw any old visual on it, and it'll sing. You know, the music's the main thing. But as long as I'm enjoying it, I'll be doing it, you know, and it is fun to me. You know, I've been like that since I was a child. I used to dress up as things, like I suppose you would call it cosplay now. My daughter's the very same, and go out into the world, you know, as characters, and or dressed completely from an era or whatever. Because my mum was an antique dealer, so spent a lot of time on car boot sales and jumble sales and charity shops as a teenager. And yeah, I guess they call it cosplay now, but I loved it. You know, I'm a, I'm an entertainer. I'm an exhibitionist. It sounds bad, doesn't it, being an exhibitionist? But I think the real meaning of being an exhibitionist is that you put an exhibition on, you
Yeah.
know, for the delight of other people. And I've sort of born to that, I guess.
I love it. I think it's fabulous. I don't think I've ever spoke to anyone or looked at anyone that, you know, kind of wears the same thing. And that's pretty incredible when you think about it. You know, when you think, oh, I wouldn't encounter anybody else that is dressing that way and going for it in that way. I think that's brilliant. I love it.
I try to use clothes to accentuate the performance rather than cover it up, you know. I'm not pretending to be anything I'm not, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. And it's just like an accentuation of the performance. It's supposed to amplify the meaning of the song and the truth of the performance. And I say the biggest influence for me on that has to be Grace Jones.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. I can
Yeah.
see that. I can see that. I like that. I like you said that, Regine. That's banging. I love Grace Jones. She's great.
She
Um,
does that too, you know, she accentuates the truth.
yeah,
She's not hiding, sort of thing.
yeah,
And once it becomes too much hiding, then I think it gets a bit boring.
yeah. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. And I mean, we can see all this on your socials, on your Instagram, on your TikTok. How have you found negotiating that kind of area? I mean, we've got Auntie Linda on the TikTok. Is
Auntie
banging.
Linda,
Her
she's always there
debut.
in reserve.
She's going for it. I love it. I've been loving it. Has it been fun?
Yeah.
Have you enjoyed making like content like that?
Oh God, it was a whole new world for me and a whole new way of expressing myself when I got into, I suppose initially Instagram. Um, and not only that, you know, it's a great place to experiment visually and make little films and think about different ways of doing performances that go direct to the audience, particularly over the period of the pandemic. I made all these like little performances that were very simple to do, but quite intimate and a different way of seeing me and a different way to perform. And I made a full length performance film with the band called the Róisín Machine Film, and that's on YouTube. That was actually streamed during the pandemic, and it's a beautiful thing. And yeah, I mean, also I get to connect with people through social media. So I'll connect with fashion designers, or they can connect with me, and or I might find a graphic designer or a lighting man or woman in that way, and you cut out a lot of middlemen that way. So I try to use it in as creative a way as possible.
Yeah, it's a very strange tool, I think. It's very strange getting on there and being so open on there. But you know, it's free, like you say, it's free to, you know, network and find people and connect further. And yeah, I think you've used it really well. I think a lot of
Thank you.
social stuff is brill. And yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the tour now. We've got to get onto the tour because you've got a few
Woohoo!
going on. What can we oh, can't even get my words out on that hype. What can we expect from a Róisín Murphy performance? What can we expect for those who've never been?
Well, I'm a born performer, I think. It's something I throw myself completely into it. There's nothing, no holds barred. I'm utterly committed to my performance. I'm very lucky in that I've worked with the same musical director for all these years, and I make these kind of electronic records or studio-based records, and it's not easy to translate it into something live, that's live musicians that are all interacting against each other, when it wasn't built like that initially in the studio. But he is brilliant at that, and he's been doing it for me since Moloko days. So he's like my bro on there. And it'll be all the bells and whistles this time. It'll be all the lights, it'll be all the content, it'll be all the costumes, it'll be all the band, it'll be all the songs, it'll be all the fun.
That's Bill.
Dancing, lots of dancing, lots of,
And
getting up
outfits.
close and personal with my wonderful fan base.
Yeah, it's gonna. I'm so excited for you, Róisín. I think it's gonna be absolutely brilliant. And
Thank
I've
you.
got one more question just before we get on to the dates of the tour, if you've got those with you. And this is probably the toughest one, and it's probably the most weird for me because I've literally grew up watching you on the music channels, watching you on TV. So
Mm.
it's very freaky moment, you know, like this, seeing you like live in the flesh. It's kind of like crazy. But you've had a pretty much perfect career. Um, it's been absolutely fabulous, and it's still going so strong. What would you say is your proudest moment so far?
It might be when I get to stand on that stage at Ali Pali, because that's the biggest show that I've ever sold with my own name. And, it's like nearly 10,000 people, and I still have to pinch myself. It sold out a few weeks ago, and I could not believe it. So it might very well be that. But overall, it's looking back at the entire catalogue that makes me the most proud. Not in a super big-headed way, because I'm actually genuinely super surprised that I can look at it and go, well, pretty much all those records are good in one way or another. I'm very proud of that. And the way I've done that is by treating it all like a big adventure rather than a very ambitious sort of job. It's really been a massive adventure. I've allowed it to happen to me in a sense.
Yeah, it's fabulous, and I'm just so proud of you, and you should be so proud. Yeah, it ain't big-headed at all. You should be so proud of what you've achieved. It's amazing. Really good stuff. Really great stuff. And where can we be seeing you, Róisín? Where's the dates at? I know we've got one in Wolverhampton. That's probably the closest.
Yeah,
Where the
God, my
will be.
computer just died, and I had them all there on my computer. But
Oh,
yeah,
shut up.
in February we're playing, starting in the. Oh Christ, I don't know.
Oh, it's all right, Róisín. I'll edit them in.
I'm
I'll edit
sorry.
them in. Don't
Please,
worry.
you say it. Wolves. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the one in Wolverhampton, because I've got some friends there who are music people who are going to come along, and we also have Crazy P warming up for us, which is, so you're getting two for one. They're amazing, and yeah, it's going to be lovely.
Thank you, Róisín. Thank you so much for your time. Send Auntie Linda my love because we're dancing.
I will.
And
Everybody's asking me about Linda. She's getting more famous than me.
tell her
Like,
to
what's
keep
your Auntie
dancing.
Linda like? I'm like, she's really good when you point a camera at her, that's for sure. But you go like, how are you, Linda? And she'll go, I'm all right. I feel a ache and I have a pain and I have a this and I have a that. And then you go, well, would you do this bit of content for me? And she's like,
I love it. I
She
love it.
loved it.
And I wish you the best of luck, Róisín, and just keep going strong. We all love it.
Oh, you're so nice. Thank
Keep
you.
going,
Thank,
and yeah, have a brilliant time.
thank you.
Thank you.